back to Computers for the Completely Clueless. I'm Lee Keller.
Kim Cavanaugh here.
And we're going to talk about some intelligent ways to do your searching.
Yeah, web searches, boy, come a long way in the last few years. And let's see, what's the name of that web search engine that people tend to like? I think it starts with a G.
Yeah, they've made it into a verb.
They have. So if you want to look something up, you just tell people to
Google it.
Google it. That's it. Google me.
That's a pretty strong statement.
Yeah, it is
a word becomes a verb like
right.
that.
And you know, I think Lee, you and I were both probably. I think we were teaching internet research and that kind of stuff when Google came on the scene back in 98, 99, 2000,
then, yeah.
somewhere in that range.
Actually, it's about 96, I think.
Was it that far back?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it became really popular, and the reason why Google became so popular is because, number one, the interface was dead simple, a box to type something into.
That's it.
And number two, the results came back quickly, and they were accurate. And the way that Google was determining which link should be at the top of the list was kind of groundbreaking.
They had a new formula, and the neat thing is they've adapted their formula because people learned how the formula worked, and then they abused the formula. And Google reacted and cleaned up the formula.
And they do it all the time.
They're evolving it. It's a good thing.
So a search engine is really, and I think we want to make sure people understand this, when you search in a search engine, you are not live searching across the internet. Right. What you're doing is you are searching for, or you're searching in a list that's maintained by the search engine.
Yeah.
The search engine has a huge database of all these web pages, and so 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, Google actually has what they call robots,
robots or spiders.
Spiders, automated software that goes out and looks for key terms, the location where the term is found, and it puts it in its database.
Yeah,
so that if we do a search like we're going to do here in Google, we're going to do a search for Lincoln speeches. Now, who do we know? I mean, what are we trying to find here?
Well, something that we've got here that's really important right off the bat is you want to type in as many terms as possible.
Okay.
The more information you give the search engine, the more accurate your result is.
Right. Now, the way Google's going to work in this case is it's going to look at each of those terms that you've put in the search box, and it's going to try to match them up. It's going to come up and say, all right, this page has the most instances of Lincoln and speeches on the page. Okay.
Right.
Both of them are there. But if you go down the list, you're going to find places where things are not about speeches by Lincoln. So right at the top,
right there, you've got Amazon. They're selling you something.
Okay, I don't
about
really want to buy speeches. And if you go down, the way Google works, it lists out a whole bunch of zeros. The more search results there are.
In fact, let me go back up to the top of this page, and we can see that we have over 2.3 million results.
There are 2.3 million web pages that have something to do about Abraham Lincoln's speeches.
Well, no, we didn't say Abraham Lincoln.
We didn't say Abraham Lincoln's speeches,
so let's see what happens when we do that.
Okay. Okay, 2.3 million now.
9 million. Ooh. Now, it went up because we are searching for
now
all
we're searching
terms.
for 3 terms. That's right. We're searching for all the terms.
Now, there are things that you can do in Google that are pretty cool, too. I'm going to go back to the home page here a minute.
Okay.
Which, very often, you can go back to a home page by clicking on
the logo of the company that's got the page there.
So I'm going to put that term in there again. The other thing that's neat on Google is I'm feeling lucky. And what it will actually do is find the #1 page that has been used in this search result.
I've never used that button because I've never had that lucky feeling. So
okay.
I don't know. Maybe that's...
I'm going to click it here. Let's see what we get. And right there we go directly to a page that is very accurate. That is actually a good button to use.
It is.
It's not always going to give you the best result, but it very often gives you a very good result.
Well, let's go the other way, Lee. Can we go back one more page? Because I want to do, let's see, we're doing some research just on Abraham Lincoln. Let's type in the word only Lincoln and see what kind of results we get. Okay. I know I want Abraham Lincoln, but the computer doesn't know what I want. It only knows what I tell it. So if I click on Lincoln...
Oh, my God, 143 million.
143 million, and all those are about Abraham Lincoln. Wait a minute, the #1 site is about Lincoln Continental from Ford Motor Company.
Yeah.
So one of the most important things that you can do to improve the results you get in your search is to put in more than one search term. And I don't know. I find myself thinking in keyword phrases these days.
Yes.
And he agreed immediately, so which shows just how sick we are.
Yeah.
But that's one way to do it. Now, what about the quotation mark trick that you told me about?
The quotation mark trick is really great. I'll do this. And we are running a little short on time here. Whoops, forgot to put it in. By putting in quotes and putting in, say, Kim Cavanaugh, that means it will find only the results that have Kim space Cavanaugh. I basically join those two words into an exact phrase.
If you did it without that, what you would find is every page that had Kim, every page that had Cavanaugh, and the ones that had the most of both would be up at the top.
Wow, impressive, Kim. 25,000 plus pages.
I think that's amazing. So, I've got a lot of stuff online, a lot of things I've published online, so that sounds about right. I mean, I don't know. I haven't done the vanity search lately.
Now, we're going to show a lot more about search engines next week's show. But real quickly here, we wanted to look at some other search engines, like Yahoo behaves very similarly. So if we put in, whoops, clicked on the wrong button there, Abraham Lincoln speeches, and we do a web search here.
Well, you didn't even have to in Yahoo. You didn't even have to click search. It automatically popped down a little window. That was pretty slick.
Actually, Google will do that too after you use it a few times.
Turn that on.
2 million. Okay, we went to answers.com, and we can find some things there.
All right, so these are some other search engines. Should you limit yourself to Google, or should you try other search engines?
I try lots of search engines. Lycos, a search engine that's been around for well over a decade.
A lot of stuff in their database.
And then we were looking at this new one.
Cool.
I have never used this. This is my first time. And it brings up.
There we go.
It's
a little more graphical representation. You don't have that list like you have in Google. So you might find that to be a better browser. I mean, a better search engine for you. So, boy, covered a lot of stuff about being safe, looking at domain names, understanding what sites are secure, and how to find the indicator that they are secure. And as it turns out, it's time to go to our question of the week. And this week we got a question from Greg in Winston Trails, and it sort of tracks with what we're saying.
Okay.
And Greg says, I like all the comparisons that you've made about web browsers in last week's show. And he asks, are they all free? And if they're not free, is it worth it to buy a browser, a web browser?
Well, the latter part's definitely going to be an opinion.
Right.
From my experience, I've not seen a web browser that wasn't free.
We actually had to search a little bit, and this one might be for you because here's a browser for discriminating people like you, Greg, and it's $14.95, and it's called OmniWeb, and it's only for Macintosh. But literally, that's the only one we could find that you had to pay for. So Safari, Internet Explorer, Firefox, Opera, Conqueror, Chrome, they're all free web browsers. Why do companies want to give us browsers, Lee?
Well, they're great, and I'm not really sure.
What's their business model? I'm not really
Firefox
sure
is open source, so we like that.
I mean, I know Microsoft wants you to stay with Internet Explorer, so you stay on the Windows platform.
Safari with the Apple.
Apple wants you to stay with Safari, so you stay on the Apple platform. But, you're free to find what works best for you, and that's what we recommend that you do.
We'd like you to keep sending us questions, though.
Absolutely. PalmBreezeCafe.com.
/questions.
And, we'll be back next week
with more on search engines.
from Computers for the Completely Clueless.